Yeah, once again, hi to everybody. Today, we'll start the MSP430 clocking system. So, the clocking system is very much essential for any microprocessor system or microcontroller based system. And because of the clock, various activities of the CPU are going to be synchronized, and based on the clock only, various events are going to be occurred. So, but in the real case, there are various requirements for the clock. Some are required like fast clock, such as for CPU operating, and for communication, we require a fast clock. Whereas for a battery operated device and RTC, we require the low power clock. And some systems where in which real time is to be real time events are to be executed, there the clock is to be accurate. And again, in some real time dynamic cases, the clock should not be failed, so fail safe clock is required. And sometimes the cheap clock is also required. Hence, instead of having a clock for this MSP430. So we are going to use a bunch of clocks which satisfied these features. That is the combination of these we are going to use for MSP430. Hence, here we're calling it as system clocks. Instead of calling it as a clock, we're going to call it as a system clock. Then system clock will be providing of mainly three signals. One is calling it as auxiliary clock, other one is submaster clock, other one is going to be the master clock. Using these three clock signals, we are going to satisfy whatever the requirements that stated just now. And let me see what are the various options that are needed for the clock. So the signal here, master clock, submaster clock, and auxiliary clock. The master clock is generally used by the CPU, and some other fast peripherals also uses this M clock. And coming to the submaster clock, this is used by some peripherals which require fast, which requires high speed, and the peripherals which require the slow or is required low speed, they can use of auxiliary clock. So in this way, the three clocks will satisfy the requirement for various peripherals and modules of MSB 430. If you observe this diagram, the red one auxiliary clock will be given for some of the peripherals here, and submaster clock, which is in blue color, will be given to the peripherals again. Okay, the peripherals which require the high speed. And coming to the M clock, which will be in the black color, which is given for CPU, ADC, and GPU only, means for CPU and some fast peripherals. So in this way, the clock system provides three signals calling it as A clock, SM clock, and M clock, which are given for CPU and slow peripherals and fast peripherals. And these are the let me come back here. Let me see. Based on these various bunch of clocks or combination of clocks, we have various clock modules. These clock modules are varies from one version to another version. First one is basic clock system (BCS). Next BCS plus. Next frequency lock low plus. Then unified clock system, then clock system. Finally, the compact clock system. These are for the first one F1 series, F2 series, then PCS plus for F2 and F2 G2, and FLL plus for F4 series, UCS for F5 and F6, and for clock system CS for FR5 and FR6, and CS slightly different than the above is for FR2 and FR4, and compact clock system for L092. In this way, the various clock modules we have used. Let me see some of the clock modules in detail. Just wait. First of all, we'll see the BCS. Yeah, if you observe this diagram, this is available for fun series. We call it as basic clock system. This is one of the simplest clock module that is available for MSP430. If you observe this diagram, the A clock, M clock, and NSM clock are produced by the clock module. Okay, the clock system. And if you observe A clock is because of the LFXT1 oscillator, there is nothing but low frequency crystal oscillator. So it is going to provide the frequencies. Of course, it is also provides high frequency as well the low frequency. But in default case, it is going to provide the low frequency. So it is given to the auxiliary clock, and this low frequency oscillator is going to be controlled by the flag oscillator off, which is available in SR register. And coming to the another DCO is going to be the distally control oscillator. This generally provides high frequency, high frequency oscillations, and it doesn't require the external oscillator for providing the frequencies. And this DCO is given for both M clock and SM clock. For getting M clock and SM clock, this will be the source, and even for getting M clock and SM clock. Here we are also getting the input from low frequency oscillator. Generally, the M clock will be either from the DCO. In other case, it can also use of LFXT1 clock whenever it provides the high frequency. Similarly, the SM clock generally will be because of DCO. In other case, you can also take from low frequency oscillator clock. And other than that, M clock is going to be controlled by the signal calling it as CPU off, which is one of the flag in SR register. Another SCG1s, system control generator 1. This controls SM clock. This is also another flag. And other than that, SC0, this controls the DCO. So in this way, it provides A clock, M clock, and SM clock with the two sources calling it as a low frequency crystal oscillator and digital control oscillator. This is about DCS. Now coming to the second version calling it as DCS plus. This is somewhat advanced in comparison to the BCS. Okay, so other than low frequency crystal oscillator and DCO oscillator, it is also containing a VLO. Why? Because for oscillator, the source is of generally low frequency oscillator. So whatever the low frequency oscillator that is providing the frequency, maybe even up to 30 kilohertz, but that much frequency may not require for a clock. Hence, one of the input for getting a clock is also derived from VLO, where VLO is very low frequency and very low power. It can have from 4 to 20 kilohertz, typically 12 kilohertz. So which is very, very much less than the frequency from the low frequency oscillator LFXT1. Hence, whenever it requires a very low frequency, it gets from VLO only. And coming to the M clock. So for M clock, generally it gets from DCO and some from the low frequency oscillator, which is providing the frequency at high frequency mode. And for SM clock, this is by default from the DCO. So in BCS plus, with compared to the BCS, the VLO is added here. So because of this, A clock gets a low power low clock from the VLO. Because of this, power consumption may be reduced further. Now coming to the next version, UCS, Unified Clock System. In Unified Clock System, instead of having two or three clock sources, we are having of totally six sources, three for low frequencies and three for high frequencies. And the low frequencies are LFXT1 about 32 kilohertz and VLO about 10, and reference oscillator about 32 kilohertz. Similarly, high frequency, so HF oscillator, crystal oscillator about 32 mega, and crystal oscillator 2 for 4 to 32 mega, and DCO, which is because of FLL calibration. So in this, in uniform clock system, totally the sources are six, and outputs are three only, and other than that, still if you want, you have one more oscillator calling as model MOD oscillator, which is usually for flash and ADC 12, which is provided on demand for flash controller and ADC 12. So including this MOD clock will be having four outputs and seven input sources. This is about info clock system that is available in FI. So in this way, the various clock modes that are available in our MSP430 to deal various requirements of any modules in the MSP430 for having optimal